Hello, I'm Konstantin Dolgan, the CEO of LA New Product Development Team and a certified new product development professional. And today I'm answering the question that we hear quite often. It's how to develop a new product idea. Now, we are talking about the idea, basically the initial stage of the product development process. It's where you have that aha moment, or where you understand that there should be a better way to do a certain process. So at that moment, how do you go about developing that initial spark in your head, that initial thought or initial very raw, crude idea? So in our team, we follow a simple three-step process that we call 3D ideation process. Why the reason it's 3D is because all the steps start with the D letter. So the first step is devise, the second is detail, and the third is describe. During the first stage, devise, you just want to take all your thoughts about this idea, about this product, out of your head. Just put it on paper, whether through sketches, some quick descriptions, but in most cases, some visual representation of an idea works best. Just take it out of your head. That's what you want to just capture. Essentially that idea on paper, or like maybe on a voice recorder, or if you use a graphic design software, just take it out of your head on some tangible medium. All right. So after that, start playing with what you have. Start developing. Start making your idea better by thinking through the idea from different perspectives. That's the detail stage. This is where you start shaping up your idea and taking out the pieces that are not feasible or not interesting, and focusing on areas that are promising and have a high potential. And you do that by researching the landscape in front of your idea. And by landscape, I mean everything related to your product idea, whether it's intellectual property, similar products in the market size, your gut feeling about the product and the possible need. If it's a hardware product, you may think about how you're planning to ship it, how you're planning to manufacture it, how you're planning to package it, what kind of regulations may be applicable to your product idea, and things like that. Basically, just try to think about it from different angles, from different perspectives. Sometimes like thinking way ahead into the future, or like how are you going to pack your product, right? So that's the stage where you detail your vision, detail your initial idea, and like a sculptor, you basically start adding clay where it's needed and basically take it off from the areas that where it doesn't have to be. And once you do that, you start again, like you can use visual ways, typically the best way to go about this. Even if your idea is not a hardware product, you can still visualize how the software would look like, for example, like by sketching some UI screens and things like that. But once you complete that, once you think through your idea from different perspectives and gather enough information to shape it into a very nice, promising, and realistically feasible product idea, then what you want to do as a final stage is to describe it. Now, believe it or not, it's more complex than it sounds, because this is the first stage where you need to explain your idea to pretty much any person. That description needs to be concise, but detailed enough for a random person to read it and understand what your idea is, why it's better than the existing alternatives, or what someone would be able to accomplish with your product. That's the stage where you need to describe your idea, and as you do that, you likely notice some gaps in your idea, and you may want to go back to the detail stage and refine your idea until you get it to where this is it. This is nothing else you can add, nothing else you can subtract, until you actually start moving through the different type of process, which in most cases that would be concept design. That is where your initial idea gets the visual form, whether through 3D models or 2D drawings, but that's the stage where you actually start creating a virtual prototype on a computer, for example. This is where you start thinking about your idea from the design perspective, from the user experience perspective, from manufacturing perspective, and things like that. But that's ahead of you. You need to get to the point where you have everything you need to explain to your team, your designers, your engineers, how to essentially work on this product, how to develop it, right? They need to clearly understand what your idea is, what it's going to do, and how your product is going to be different or better than the existing alternatives. That's how you go through the first stage of the product development process, and that's how you develop your product idea. If you have questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and stay tuned for the following videos. Thank you.